Azure Gleam. Reprisal. Having repelled the forces of the Western Church, the Kingdom and Alliance armies joined together to launch a large-scale coordinated attack on the Empire. Preparing to assault a key Imperial position, the Kingdom army uses northeastern Gert territory as a bridgehead to press further south. Meanwhile, a reliable ally returns to their side.
It's good to see you safely back, Rodrigue. I understand matters have begun to settle down in the West.
They have. It took more than a few lengthy inquiries, but I believe we finally excised the foul seed of discord from our soil. And the changes at the top of houses Gideon, Mateus, and Elidor should ensure it never takes root again.
So they're keeping their territories, then? I would have expected us to remove them completely after what they did.
Such is easier said than done. Our prior situation with House Kleiman took time as well.
Yes. Replacing the head of a territory always brings dissenters crawling out of the woodwork to oppose it. Be they nobles or commoners.
At least now we won't have to worry about our land descending into chaos behind us. We can't just keep repeating the same mistakes. I must say, though, I'm surprised this all went as smoothly as it did.
I did used to be the eminent Duke Fraldarius, remember? I have just a bit of experience with these things.
In any case, we must turn our gaze eastward. How's the Alliance holding up?
According to Gustav's report, Claude is holding out for the perfect opportunity to advance his army. Naturally, they don't favor their chances in a head-on clash with the famed Count Burgleys.
Oh my gosh, just sick Holst on him.
So, for the time being, they intend to feign a deadlock and slowly dwindle away the enemy forces.
It seems the decision to reclaim the monastery was a shrewd one, then. It's our best path forward.
I know we're slated to advance on Hevring territory, but shouldn't we hold off till the Alliance can come help us too?
Please, yes. We want to fight together.
No. On the contrary. If we can show our individual might warrants attention, the Empire will have no choice but to dispatch more troops west.
Dimitri.
Which should, in turn, ease the burden on the Alliance and their army. Claude and I agreed to as much.
The real question is whether we can even trust him. It's impossible to tell if you ask me.
If anything, he might be trying to wear us down. Soften us up so he can beat the stuffing out of us later.
Oh my gosh, you people.
I doubt he would do something like that.
Finally, somebody.
At least not in the midst of pursuing the same goal.
Thank you, Ingrid. You're now my favorite.
But you're right. Claude's tricky to pin down. You can never really tell what he's plotting.
And there she goes. Ingrid went from like favorite to back down to the bottom of the list in the span of like 2 seconds. Middle of the list, middle of the list. We'll put her in the middle.
I don't believe we can be too cautious here. We should consider every possible angle.
Even Mercedes, come on.
Agreed. But if the Alliance does try anything, Gustav and the Knights of Seros should be more than enough to thwart their plans. For now, though, we march on. Ready your units.
So, we finally take aim at the Empire in earnest.
Yes. We must finish this swiftly, for the sake of all those caught in the middle.
If you don't mind me asking, Your Majesty, do you have it within you to topple the Emperor? I speak not of military prowess, nor the strength of our army. No. I speak of your emotions.
He's got a point. I mean, she's your stepsister. Anyone would hesitate to cut down their own family.
She is an old friend as well, though I doubt she has any recollection of it now. Rodrigue, do you truly think my hand will waver? I, who cleaved my own uncle's head from his shoulders? Now, seeing as the Empire was involved in the tragedy of Duscur, there is still much I must ask of her. In a way, she and I are no different. Starting wars of our own volition, sending countless innocent lives to the feet of the goddess. However noble one's reasoning may be, a deed like that cannot go unpunished. And if she refuses to yield, then as a king, and one seeking revenge at that. I will take her life.
I'm pleased to hear it. Ah, that reminds me. I meant to give you this earlier.
A letter?
From his mom? From his dad?
One from Lady Patricia. I uncovered it during our inquiry of Viscount Elidor.
From my stepmother.
I hope you'll forgive the intrusion, but I have already examined its contents. The letter contains no new information of note. That said, I expect you'll find the subject matter quite disturbing indeed, Your Majesty.
I see. I will read it later then.
Oh, Dimitri. Have you read that letter from your stepmom yet?
Yes, I have. It was a missive requesting the then Viscount Elidor's cooperation in her conspiracy against my father. She claimed he would have much to gain from the king's elimination, all while shrewdly expressing sympathy with his objections to the reforms.
Could this be a plant from Cordelia? Seriously.
I had it investigated for signs of forgery as a precaution. But such a search returned nothing.
No.
The letter is authentic.
Oh, poor Dimitri.
Meaning your stepmom was a willing participant in the tragedy of Dusker. She sent so many to die, and would have done the same to her own stepson if all had gone according to plan.
Why, though?
All out of the desire to see her daughter again. Or so Cornelius said. The wretch's words deserve little weight, but I believe she spoke true. In every memory I hold of my stepmother, she was always looking past me, as if the one she truly cared for was somewhere else entirely.
Oh my gosh, this is so sad. Why? Like, even if she wanted to see Edelgard again, like, that doesn't mean she has to kill everybody else. Get upset. Why would we sympathize with her? Seriously. I mean, I get it, you know? But still.
That's horrible. I never knew my real mom, but the woman who adopted me loved me with all her heart. That's how it should be.
It was horrible, yes. But what of it? There is no guarantee a parent will come to love their child.
Oh, Dimitri!
Still, being faced with such plain evidence of her crimes is a difficult thing to come to terms with. I had once thought her among those I would avenge. Yet now she lies squarely in the path of my fury.
Pretty heavy stuff, yeah.
I can tell you're troubled as well.
You can see straight through me, huh? Guess that's what 3 years together will do. It's Myson, that dark mage from before. He was familiar with my power somehow. And yeah, I know you said you trust me, but I'm not so sure I even trust myself anymore. I just can't stand not knowing the truth. Who am I really?
No matter what answer awaits, I will continue to place my trust in you. That hasn't changed.
But what if I transform and attack you?
I would do whatever I must to restrain you, naturally. Failing that, I'd... Forgive me. It helps no one to utter such words.
It's fine. If nothing else, the threat of death is good motivation for me to get this power under control.
Have you lost your mind? It almost sounds like you'd be okay with him killing you.
I don't want to die, of course, but if it was between that and killing a friend, I know which one I'd pick.
Oh, Shaz. Why is the map so dark? Or is it just me? That was sad. That was so sad. Oh my gosh.
What about this?
What about...
What do you think of this?
Acquired materials.
What about this?
We don't need that.
What about this?
We don't need any
I was
of these.
thinking...
Oh, this one is nice. We'll keep this one.
Great. Let's get started.
Now then.
Alright, let's talk. The Empire lies in shambles. We won't even be able to rest in a nearby town at this rate. It may not be readily apparent within our camp, but many people have lost their homes, and more continue to do so each day. I can sympathize with the loneliness that comes from losing one's place in the world. Makes sense. Alright, not in this one.
No way.
How did things get to such an awful point? Where in the world is 80? They say she's injured and that Duke Ire is leading the Empire in her stead. But what if 80 is already... No, I don't even want to think about it. We gotta rescue her, you know?
What's up? You've got a spring in your step today.
Things have really calmed down in the kingdom. It's nice not having to look over our shoulders all the time. I'm relieved His Majesty was able to work things out and that the church is keeping order now. I appreciate what they're doing, but I have to admit it's also kind of scary. What he means, chide him.
Huh?
What do you mean by scary? You afraid of getting on their bad side?
Nuh-uh.
What? No, it's not that. That's not it. All I'm saying is that we're trusting them with a lot. The church? We're trusting the church with a lot? Church is keeping order? Yeah. I don't know. You would think that Sylvain wouldn't want the church really in power either, just because, you know, they're the ones who are perpetuating the whole crest system. They're the ones who, like, you know. And then there's the whole family thing. A whole bunch of people have been defecting from the Empire lately. I did the same. I worked for the Empire at the beginning of the war, betting they would win.
Yep, that's all.
But now my money's on the kingdom. I'm riding this prize horse to victory. Okay, so you're not here because you believe in the church or anything. You're just here because you want to be on the winning side. All right, cool. My adopted father sent a missive apprising me of the Alliance's progress. They have already crossed the Aramid River and invaded Empire territory, though the Imperial Army has been slow to respond. Something is clearly amiss in their ranks. I'm concerned about Edelgard. Oh, Marianne. Stare in confusion. Express concern.
Hey!
You doing all right?
Thanks.
Yeah, thanks. Just trying to hold back a sigh. Now that Balthus is part of the team. Staying quiet is just less effort overall, unless you want to chat about something. If that's the case, we can talk as long as you want. Maybe that'd be better, honestly. Alright. Well, what are you sighing about? What are you not sighing about? I guess, is the question. Bandits attacked my caravan not far from here. I was the sole survivor. Ooh, rough. That is rough. I had no idea what to do or where to go, but the Knights of Seros came to my rescue. All this time, I thought the Central Church was just a steaming pile of garbage. Wow. But I guess I was wildly mistaken. Alright, cool.
I'm thinking. The thing is...
6 months ago, I wanted to protect everyone from the Imperial invasion. But now we're the ones invading. I can't help but feel kinda guilty about it. Empathize? Disagree?
Yeah, I don't know.
I'd be lying if I said I didn't feel the same way. I just try not to think about it. I don't know how you can just push it from your mind like that. It's amazing.
Let's give it our all.
I can't let every little thing get to me. I'm going to do my best to follow your example. Alright. Thanks. Shez's coping mechanism is just to not think about it, which I can appreciate. Us mercenaries can't always choose who we fight. But if I have to kill someone, I'd rather they be bad guys, like the Empire. How about you? That's kind of... Just throw that blanket over everything, Shamir. The entire Empire. Agree? Disagree? I'll take them over fighting the good guys any day, no question.
All right.
Let's put as many of them in the ground as we can and restore peace to the world. Okey-doke. Yuri and Balthus!
Seriously?
So Balthus, what were you doing cozying up to the Empire? Did they pay you that well? Was Yuri not part of the Empire? I honestly don't remember. Did Yuri not work for the Empire too before we recruited him? We did recruit him, did we not?
Right.
Pretty much. Till a few months ago, I was practically living in the lap of luxury until he gambled and drank it all away. You picked a bad time to defect then. I suppose you like taking orders from a sniveling lowlife.
I don't know.
You're really gonna go there, huh? Though I guess you know all about taking orders from lowlives. I heard you were fighting alongside those chumps from House Row and Aryan Road. Oh, okay. So he wasn't... Wait. No. He was working with the Empire. Maybe not, as part of the Imperial Army, but he was working with the Empire. I remember the cutscene with him and Edelgard, and he was giving away the secrets of the fort, of the stronghold, right? My memory is not playing tricks on me. As if I went back there by choice. A stable's manure pit would be 1,000 times more preferable. You still got a mouth on you, that's for sure. But it's oddly comforting. Right back at you. I'm relieved you're still the same old meathead. Alright, well... Okay, we have 3 out of the 4 of the Ashen Wolves. Now, all we're missing is Constance. I don't know where she is, but the way things are going, probably with the Empire.
Greetings, friend. Nothing to report.
Probably trying to work her way back into nobility. Well, actually, there's loads to report, just nothing inside the base. The Imperial territories are in complete chaos. My family lives in Embar, and I'm just worried sick about them. Alright, hope they're well. Hope they are well. As long as they stay out of the fighting, they will remain well.
What do you want?
Whoa, quit staring a hole through me, would ya? All I'm doing is delivering some packages for my lady. More specifically, I serve Lady Hilda of House Goneril. This one's got tea leaves for Lord Lawrence, and this one contains sweets for Lady Mary. Oh, Hilda's sending them care packages! That's so sweet. Then there's this dusty old book for Sir Ignatz. Oh, and some meat for Sir Raphael. Go ahead and check them out if you don't believe me. I swear to the goddess, I ain't doing nothing shady. Alright, cool man, cool. Oh, Sedith? Hey.
I wish to speak with
I
you.
received word that a suspicious character named Mycen was among those colluding with the Western Church. This person reportedly wields a power similar to your own. Do you have any idea who they are? Our best friend? Clearly. You don't know, don't answer. My apologies, I did not intend to upset you. The Archbishop is concerned about this individual as well.
That is all.
Please understand that I was compelled to ask because of my position. However, I do trust you. Oh, that's nice. Why is it, question, why is it that Sedith trusts us, or Shez, who has mysterious powers that are very similar to the ones, of the Shadow Dwellers, the people who infiltrated the church, like Tomas, and who have proven themselves to be quite evil, right? But he didn't trust Byleth, who, I don't know, also had powers, like, that were not connected to evil people. I don't know, it's weird. Anyways. I heard we're going to start attacking the Empire a bunch. Have you lost your minds? How can this be happening? I don't want to die. Reason with her, appeal to her emotions. Pretty sure the only emotions Bernadetta feels frequently are fear and panic.
Yeah.
It's like,
I don't know.
What's that saying? You can't do things by halves. If we back down now, the Empire will take the opportunity to counterattack. You have a point. I guess we don't really have a choice, do we?
How are you?
My father has finally returned. He may have relinquished his position as Duke, but he's still running himself ragged. Not that I have any room to talk, since I'm always away fighting on the front lines. I really should go back home and see how my family is doing once in a while. Good luck with that, have fun.
What could it be? The story goes...
The situation being what it is, my father hasn't presented me with any, with many marriage proposals lately. However, that also means House Galatia's finances won't be improving anytime soon. I have no idea what I should do after the war is over. No, I can't think about this right now. I need to focus on the battle before us.
Have you need of me?
Even now, there are still nobles within Adrastia who care for its welfare, such as Baron Ox and Duke Girth. And then, of course, there are men like Count Burgleys and Count Hevring. I have no objection to fighting them, but I do feel some slight hesitation. If only there was a way we could get them to work together with us to defeat Duke Ayer's forces. But no, that's impossible. I wonder if there's like different factions within the Empire right now, like the factions that support Edelgard, and maybe, you know, are suspicious and concerned that something's happened to her and are trying to help her on the down low, and then factions who are like evil and support Ferdinand's father.
Greetings.
Or just, you know, misled. Shortly before the tragedy of Duscur shook the kingdom, another major battle took place in the western part of the Empire. The Imperial army was on one side of the conflict, of course, but can you guess who they were up against? Another shortly before the tragedy of Duscur, another major battle, western part of the Empire. Kingdom? Western Church? Take a wild guess. I don't know.
Let's see.
Oh, hey, look at that. Judging from your tone, it has to be someone unexpected, like an enemy invasion from overseas. Oh, was this the war against Dagda and Brigid?
Amazing.
Yes, that's exactly what happened.
Actually.
The Allied forces, The Allied forces of Dagda and Brigid invaded southwest Fodlan from far across the sea. The Empire barely managed to repel them. Dagda was defeated, and Brigid fell under Imperial rule. We're headed to the exact location of that fierce battle. Are we now? Are we? Alright, well that'll be interesting. Maybe we'll get extra dialogue from Shamir. Since, you know, she was part of the invading forces, right? Was she not? Fairly sure that's how she ended up in Fodlan. The death of King Claus. Chapter 9, A Royal Dilemma. With King Claus on his deathbed, stricken with fever, Prince Crawford's troubles were just beginning. So sudden was his great father's illness that the king had yet to decide which of his sons would succeed him. Sounds like a succession battle to me. Crawford's eldest brother, Banfig, was a talented warrior and military strategist, but was also a gentle soul with no desire for war or power. Those two seem kind of contradicting, but okay. Leadership would not suit him. His younger brother, Kite, had his father's wisdom and was able to remain cool and calculating no matter the situation. However, that was precisely why the knights regarded him as too cold-hearted. Unlike his brothers, Crawford lacked a crest and thus the strength befitting a member of the royal family, so he had never seriously considered challenging either of his brothers for the throne. However, the thought of one of his brothers dying in a struggle for succession was almost more than he could bear. One day, Klaus's sister, Morianne, found a note supposedly written by her brother. It said simply, "He who is most beloved by the people shall have the throne," in what was unmistakably Klaus's handwriting. This brief note would become the impetus for a tragic and bloody war of succession. Oh, that's sad. When the fighting was done, the knights split into 3 factions, each supporting a different prince. The Knights of Fargus sided with Banfig, Mock with Crawford, and Lester with Kite. They agreed to divide the kingdom itself into 3 as well. She despaired that her scheme had failed. Her plan to install her preferred Prince Kite as king was disrupted by one so banal as Crawford. Now, after innumerable casualties, the 3 brothers were putting down their weapons. This appears to be a novel retelling part of Argus's history. Okay, so apparently the king's sister wanted to install her favorite nephew on the throne. So she wrote a note, or forged a note by the king. And that caused a succession battle? Which is weird because didn't the first brother not even want to be, right? They didn't want, the first brother, the oldest brother, doesn't even want war or power, so why would they care about the throne, right? The younger brother, I can see it. Like, they want the throne, sure. And the second brother, the middle brother, doesn't want the throne either? Not really? They just don't want their brothers to kill each other. I don't understand this. I do not understand how this ending came from that note. That's weird. I don't understand. Okay.
I was thinking.
Oh, Commander, before I forget, have you heard the rumors about Gerald's mercenaries? Oh, okay, based on what's happened so far, right? they talk about, like, they hint about, like, the adopted son of Count Rowe, and then Yuri shows up, and then they hint at this mercenary or something, or somebody who, like, I don't remember what the hint for Balthus was, but, like, some sort of hint about Balthus, and then he shows up. I'm guessing we have to fight Gerald's mercenaries in the next chapter, or in the next big battle. Word is they're still with the Imperial Army, under General Randolph's employ. Ooh, Randolph. I mean, he survived the last fight, but the game likes to kill him off. I wanted to make sure I could fight alongside you, but I got injured in the last battle. So I'll be sent to the rear for a while. Just be careful out there, okay? Thanks, you too. Best wishes. Best wishes.
What is it?
I walked until I thought my feet were gonna fall off, but this land just stretches on forever. But get this, I heard that if you keep going a little further west, you see a gigantic ocean.
Whoa! Amazing.
I thought the ocean was only to the north and south. You learn something new every day. All right, cool. I like how there's just random laundry hanging around, you know? It amuses me.
Oh, it's you.
This is unfathomable. There is naught but cruelty and suffering at every turn, albeit to varying degrees. Villages burned to the ground, towns deserted, rampant poverty. I have to wonder what Edelgard thinks of all this. I'm not sure she can think anything right now. Seems to be in a, like, I don't know. I can't think of the word, but I don't think she's thinking anything right now. Locked in her own mind. Frustrated? Don't know. Doesn't care. I mean, I would assume she's frustrated. Like, if she were, you know, cognizant of what's happening. But she didn't look like it.
Let's see.
My guess is she's frustrated because she can't really do anything about it. I mean, she is the Emperor. Like, if she wasn't, you know, indisposed, incapacitated, she would be frustrated. I would think.
No.
She is the Emperor. One would think she could at least stop her forces from pillaging. Though if she truly cannot, then our suspicions are all but confirmed. Regardless of her circumstances, there is but one path before us.
Now then.
Take the Imperial capital and end the war. We need only to press onward to achieve that. Alright, cool.
Good day to you.
Long ago, part of this area belonged to House Nouvelle. They produced a number of distinguished mages and were even favored by the Emperor. Word has it they were utterly obliterated in the wake of the Dagda and Brigid War. I suppose no matter how prosperous a house is, they all fall to ruin eventually. Does this mean Constance is going to show up in this chapter too? Because that would be cool. We only need one more to complete the set.
Come to think of it.
The Kingdom and Central Church are carrying out a joint inquiry into the Western Church. They're doing it that way because some suspicious people infiltrated the church itself. Lady Rhea will be overseeing the inquiry as well. We all know how Rhea conducts her inquiries, right? With a pointed finger and an axe. Once the investigation is complete, a new bishop will be appointed and the West can begin working towards stability. Still, makes you wonder how those mages managed to worm their way in to begin with. Right. Oh, somebody back here. Petra, hey. I am not knowing what has become of them, but I am thinking Brigid will no longer be having a relationship with the Empire in my lifetime. That's obvious. Ask about the Empire winning.
Huh?
Even if the Empire wins?
I have this pleasure.
Oh, wow, she's upset. Yes, when they are burning their villages and hurting and stealing from their own people, they are not worthy of trusting. Makes sense. I mean, if they do that to their own people, they're definitely not going to be any better, you know, to their vassals. Or vassals, the people of their vassal state.
You look well today. In fact...
You know, I used to think there was no reason for us to be at war. But after witnessing the devastation in the Empire, I realized there are some things that cannot be overlooked. We must save the people of this land, even if it means resorting to combat to do so.
Well?
I'm certain everyone in the Kingdom Army is fighting with the same conviction. Not everyone. There was this mercenary earlier who just wanted to be on the winning team, you know?
Well...
The coming battle will be decisive. We face the lords defending the Empire's western front. Girth, Ox, Gillinger. Then there's Hymir and Essar as well.
What do you think?
No doubt you have heard of some of these houses before. I mean, some of them. Like, one?
That reminds me.
I think we helped someone from House Ox a long time ago.
Right.
Yes, that's right. You may also remember Professor Hanneman, who taught in the classroom next to ours. He was from House Essar. Oh, good to know, good to know. We have no strong attachments to them, so we're okay with offing them. However, some may find it difficult to raise their swords against this particular opponent.
Please.
Be mindful of such individuals. Is the dude like low-key hinting we shouldn't put Dorothea on the field? Is he? To do? Was that your intention? We'll consider it. We'll consider it. For you to do. For you.
How can I help you?
It's so nice and quiet here. Such a far cry from Ferdiad. It's the guardian moon, and yet there's nary a speck of snow. No one will be freezing to death, will they? I mean, hopefully. Up north, snow stays on the ground until the end of the year, though sometimes it's still falling during the Great Tree Moon. They say the grass is always greener, and it turns out I'm a little green with envy myself. Alright, cool. I mean, there's nothing that says you have to live in Ferdiad.
Hi there. Oh,
Or the
that's
Fargus
right.
in general. Did you know that there's a truly exquisite opera house in the imperial capital of Embar? I went there with my mother and brother a long time ago. Every part of it was beautiful, from the performers to the architecture of the building. I completely lost myself in the opera, and all the pain and sadness I felt just drifted away. I would love to go back and see the opera again. Maybe I should talk to Dorothea about it. Maybe she could put on a performance for the army. Raise people's spirits.
If I may.
It appears that some generals in the Kingdom Army do not trust the Alliance. Let's be honest, Lawrence, you don't trust the Alliance. I mean, you don't trust Claude either, so, you know, you should have joined in on the conversation. I'm sure it would have been, you know, your cup of tea, as it were. What about you? Do you have confidence in us as your allies in battle? Yes? Dodge the question.
Right on.
Yeah, I trust you. Plus, what? Shez! No! Why would you say that? Shez! This is because of everybody else's influence. You know, Dmitri and Annette and Mercedes and Ingrid, like everybody. Everybody. They're just yes, I trust you. Claude's a different story though. You are right to be wary of him. Ugh, Lawrence. I cannot help but feel sorry for you, despite being our ally. That being said, we have not received any duplicitous orders from our Blackguard leader. Of that, I give you my word. Thanks. That's... wow. Shez! What the heck?
Can we talk? The truth of it is...
How many years has it been since I lost my parents to the epidemic? My siblings and I had no place to call home, nor any food to eat after that. We were all wasting away. There was no one to turn to, and we barely had any money, so I did some things I'm not proud of in order to survive. We get it, we get it. In that town we passed through a little bit ago, I saw so many kids in the same condition. It made me think about how we have to end this war as quickly as possible. We get it. We will support you. We support you.
Hey!
Look, I don't mind fighting the Empire, but we have to let General Randolph live. He turned a blind eye when I escaped from the Imperial camp. No one wants to be a part of the raids they're doing, not even him. Please, you gotta believe me. I mean, is this low-key hinting that that Randolph won't die this time? Cause I'm all for it. I'm all for it.
In truth,
His Majesty's mother passed away shortly after he was born, which meant he had to grow up without a mother's love. That is why he adored Lady Patricia as though she were his real mother. That is just so sad. Why are you doing this? Why are you doing this to us? Why are you telling us this? Perhaps I never should have shown him that letter. Tell him not to worry. Might be right.
Let's see.
Yeah, maybe. He tends to bottle up all his pain.
indeed.
Indeed. In that regard, he is nothing like his father. I ask that you continue to support His Majesty as a trusted friend. What? Why? Dude.
That aside,
The time is right for us to seize the Empire's lands. The enemy will undoubtedly risk life and limb to resist, just as we did 6 months ago. We mustn't forget that we are the invaders this time, trampling through others' lands. Yeah, we're not going to set it to fire, though. We're not going to raze their fields to the ground.
That reminds me.
I'm actually a minor lord from House Gillinger, so I could be considered imperial nobility. My uncle is the head of the family now, He's a man who lives and breathes violence. I got sick of his guff and took off. I don't even consider him family anymore. Good for you, good for you. He's been kicking up a fuss in the West, but it's high time we put him in his place.
Time certainly does fly, Ash. Why, it's already been a year and a half since you became a knight. Still, it must be difficult working in such unfamiliar lands. Are you doing well?
Yeah, I'm great. Everyone in the capital has been really nice, honestly. If anything, I guess I'm still just unsure if I have what it takes to be a knight.
Do not give in to doubt. Remember, most knights currently in the service of House Blathid only entered the castle after I became king.
So you're all in the same boat. It's all good. You'll be fine. You'll be fine. We believe in you.
You have fought with me for much longer. And so in that sense, you have the advantage.
Sure, but I'm not nobility. I don't even have a crest. So I want to repay you for appointing me, even if it costs me my life.
I see. Tell me, Ash, what exactly does knighthood mean to you?
Huh? I'd say knights are loyal to the king, and willing to give their lives to protect the crown and their people. That's right. Right?
That is indeed what many claim a knight should be, but reality is rarely so rosy. Put bluntly, it is the job of a knight to dispense death. The code of chivalry emphasizes loyalty, yes, but this is only to ensure knights remain under the complete control of their lords.
Should you be telling your people this, Dimitri? I feel like it's kind of counterproductive to your goals.
Well, I mean, I guess that's true.
I have no quarrel with your dedicating yourself to such a code, but there is no need to stake your life upon it.
But...
Gotta be adaptable, Ash. Gotta be adaptable.
My closest friend was a knight who served the royal family. He was near to my own age, and I admired him greatly. But one day, I watched him die. He stood his ground and fought bravely, but his life was snuffed out in the blink of an eye all the same.
You're talking about Felix's brother, right? I remember Lord Rodrigue mentioning him.
His dying screams echo in my mind to this day. My point, Ash, is that there may come a time when you must decide between your loyalty and your life. And though I know this to be a selfish request, when that day comes, I want you to choose life.
Oh, he does. He does. No worries. He does.
Even if it means turning my bow against you?
Yep.
Especially then. If you find yourself unable to follow through, I beg you to leave the battlefield quietly and with all haste. I pray it never comes to that.
Right. I have something to say, though. I don't think that friend who protected you threw his life away because he was a knight. He just wanted to save his best friend.
Oh, Ash.
Even if it meant destroying futures that might have come to pass had he but lived?
Look, I don't know if what he did was right. So if you're asking me not to throw my life away, I promise that I won't. But I don't think it's wrong to fight to the end for someone that you love.
Well put. Perhaps you're right. In any case, I must be off. I have drills I must attend to. After all, I must do everything in my power to be the sort of ruler worthy of such loyalty.
You've done more than enough, Your Majesty. We all respect you to the ends of Fodlan.
Aww.
Ah, Sylvain. I was hoping to ask your opinion on our recent meeting.
Hey, I'm always happy to talk. But if you want House Gautier's take, shouldn't you ask my father?
I don't want House Gautier's opinion. I want yours.
Okay, well, we were talking about the pros and cons of incorporating commoners in the nobility, right? Seems to me like we got it all sorted out.
Why not just get rid of the nobility entirely? Just make people equal.
Yes. The discussion primarily revolved around a single point: whether those without crests are actually worthy of entering the nobility.
I mean, if they're up to the challenge, I don't see why not. It's like how you promoted my brother, right? Skill is what matters in the end.
Indeed. And the performances of Ash and the Commander serve as proof of such.
Just don't get carried away, you know? Too much of a good thing and all that. I'm sure you realize what would happen to the kingdom if we lost the power of crests.
Naturally. However, crest bloodlines are currently fading everywhere. People such as Felix who were born with major crests are the exception in this day and age.
Which means Fargus has two options if we want to retain our power. One, we bolster our military and promote prosperity while delicately letting the bloodline dance play out. Or two, we admit bloodlines won't last forever and create a social system that doesn't rely on inheritance. Neither one would hold up for long, but if I had to choose, I guess the first option would be the better one for the kingdom on the whole.
Bolstering our military is more easily said than done. Impoverished as our land is, it will be difficult to compete with regions of more fertile ground.
Hey, do you remember what I said when you talked to me about promoting my brother?
You guys should research, help Ingrid with her research, and about that miracle crop.
I told you it was important to keep up appearances while we were in the middle of a war. And honestly, I don't have any real objection to the way you're running things now.
Thank you, Sylvain. I knew you would help me sort things out in my head.
I don't usually get into serious stuff like this, but I'm glad I could help.
Such topics are not beyond your grasp, though. Your complete sincerity is a great strength. That said, you never show that side of you to any but Felix and myself. Although, I must admit, you were far from sincere during our academy days.
Ugh, don't remind me. Just thinking about it makes me cringe.
If you see the error of your ways, it is not too late to mend them. Or perhaps you require one of my lectures like old times?
Pass. You know I've got them all memorized anyway.
I do hope you realize how much I rely on you, Sylvain. You have so many things I lack. You're clever and quick-witted like your father, yet...
Yeah, well, I've been jealous of your strength ever since we were kids.
None of us are perfect. So let us dwell no longer on our failings. I apologize for taking up so much of your time, though I hope to have similar discussions in the future.
Looking forward to it. Glad I can always speak my mind around you.
We like this more mature and thoughtful Sylvain.
Annette, how does that song about the dancing swamp beasties end?
It wasn't swamp beasties, it was bears. A song about dancing swamp beasties wouldn't be nearly as cute.
It was supposed to be cute? Anyway, I'd never heard a song like that before, and now I can't get it out of my head.
Felix probably thought it was a song to, like, raise soldiers' morales, like, right before they go into battle against these monsters.
Wait, really? Wow, I'm flattered. But it's not like I can make up the rest of it on the spot. Why don't you go see an opera or something? Get a better song stuck up in there.
Yeah, I don't know. Guess I've been interested in seeing an opera in the past, but I've never gone.
Oh, it's okay. We have Dorothea on the team. Just go ask her for a impromptu performance.
Now that you mention it, I don't know if they even perform opera in Fargus. But the church is in Camulus now, and they have volunteers who put on operas every now and then. I've been helping Dorothea and the others there, and it's really expanded my repertoire of songs.
Well then, sing one for me. Just belt out whatever pops into your head.
You got it. I'll sing you my favorite. Me, me, me. A shimmering life burns down to ash. Then since I'm all hot and sweaty, I hop in the bath. Soon I get real dizzy, which puts me in a tizzy. But eventually I feel way, 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 way better. So I decide to hop back in the bath again. Whew.
Huh. You take baths when you're already hot? That's some impressive fortitude. I think I underestimated you.
Oh.
Wait, but then you get back in the bath even though it made you dizzy.
It's called training, Felix. She's training herself.
You must seriously love bathing. Well, this has been fascinating. I had no idea operas could have such unexpected developments.
Operas aren't like that at all. That's just an aria I learned a long time ago, and I don't even really remember the words. It wasn't supposed to be a song about taking a bath. It was supposed to be serious.
Wait, really? That's much less interesting.
No, you don't... Look, a real opera is much better, all right? I'll take you to one sometime, and you'll see. It'll take your breath away when you hear it. I bet you'll fall head over heels in love.
Fine. But let's save it until the war's over. If it's really that good, I want to make sure I give it my full attention.
Then we're definitely going to see an opera. It's a promise.
It's a date. And they only have fee support.